Well, it wouldn't be the Lefty Lunacy segment without the ABC, James.
Oh, boy, yeah. So great reporting in the Australian newspaper about what has gone on with the sacking of political editor Andrew Probyn by the ABC. And, of course, what is the ABC's response? Well, another thin-skinned denunciation, because in the reporting by Nick Tabakoff and I believe Stephen Rice, the reporting has had several people within the ABC saying that Andrew Probyn had stood up to management over a number of things, that he stood up for a journalist who had wanted to report on Lydia Thorpe's relationship with a bikie, and that there had been all sorts of woke pushback. And they also quoted a number of people who had problems with all the ridiculous diversity targets at the ABC. Now, what does the ABC do? They call the comments offensive. It's offensive that people in the ABC are, committing the heresy of speaking out against management. And so they've said another one of their denunciations. But you know what? They never talk. The board never talks. Nobody ever explains what they're doing with more than $1 billion of taxpayer money. And they're firing Probyn so they can get a bunch of young TikTokers in to cover the news.
It's such a petulant way of going about things. Don't put up anybody to be interviewed and just put out these statements, which are ridiculous. And in the Probyn case, apparently one of the things that had him in the bad books with ABC management was that he thought Lydia Thorpe should have the same treatment as other senators, but they saw that as punching down on a black woman. Now, the ABC have no qualms about punching down when it comes to, Senator Price. They attack her fairly regularly. But if you're from the left and you happen to be a woman of colour, then there's a protection racket happening apparently at the ABC, and he didn't sign up to that, and he's out. I think it's grossly unfair.
What I found bizarre or hilarious or actually very telling was apparently the comments, because Andrew Probyn was their political editor, we don't need a political editor anymore. Well, hang on. Isn't that your job? You're supposed to be out there reporting on... No, don't need a political editor. I wonder why. Could that be because we've already decided what our viewpoint on every single political issue is? So why have a political editor? So Probyn's gone. He's punted. At the same time, and this is just hilarious, the ABC want to be more like Spotify, Netflix, and YouTube. Ooh. Okay, so let's get those playlists that we can have, those ABC playlists where you can listen to Lydia Thorpe, followed by Greta Thunberg, followed by...
It is ridiculous, though, because when you look at the ABC's ratings, they are having, especially with a lot of their radio and news and current affairs stuff, there are huge problems with all of that. People are tuning out. And here's the other, thing, too, is that the way that they handle diversity things. We've spoken about this in the past. They run a very woke line and they say, oh, no, we're going to, protect Lydia Thorpe. But within the organization, again, it's just the treatment of people is reportedly just horrendous.
Well, if Stan Grant is to be believed, you're either on one side or the other. If he's to be believed, then that is not a workplace that celebrates diversity, that celebrates... it certainly doesn't celebrate viewpoint diversity. We know that much. Yeah. I mean, half the country could not stomach anything that ABC News and Current Affairs produces because they're just relentlessly left-wing. They're activists. And if this is how they want to go, if they want to go down the TikTok road with the $1 billion+ they receive each year, good luck to them.
Well, I think it's more important than that. I think maybe they should do exactly that. If you want to copy Spotify and you want to copy YouTube and you want to copy Netflix, well, these are subscription models. This is what the ABC should be doing. If we had a sensible Liberal government in power, you would just say, we don't need to even sell you off. Just make it a subscription model and we'll see how popular you really are.
Rowan, there's more to that. I mean, if they want to go down the TikTok road, well, they're already halfway there because, at the very top, their owners are communists. But, but just on the diversity thing, though, because I've spoken to people at the ABC, this is how ridiculous it is inside. in the last decade, they had a diversity tracker program where everybody who did an interview had to record the race and gender of everybody that they interviewed for a story so that it could go into this giant Excel spreadsheet. Now, they were told, don't bother asking, just it's how they look on TV.
Oh, hang on.
This is what happened.
Judging race by colour.
Yeah.
ABC, very
bad stuff, ABC.
Naughty.
Very
But the other thing
problematic.
on a serious note on this is that they're centralising all the regional. Now, the ABC, if they do have one function, has been repeatedly argued, it's to be a regional voice. So to have stations and reporters out in the country where most networks can't afford to have that sort of infrastructure. So that's the one reason, the one justification people have always put up for the ABC is that, it gives us the country folk. It gives us all the regional remote areas and their news stories. Well, no longer. Lefties, that's all gone. So they've merged the whole thing into a centralised. So now your West Australian, your Broome report, your Broken Hill report, or whatever. All these different things are now going to be centralised in Sydney. I wonder what could possibly go wrong with the latte sipping, purple-haired, diversity intern there, putting together all the regional, agricultural news.
Well, it gets back though to this whole issue that started this whole thing off. Again, the reporting on the ABC infuriated the ABC. I broke a story in the Daily Telegraph some months ago and I had the internal documents, that the regional stuff was going to be gutted. And
how did the ABC react to that?
They did the exact same thing that they did here with this story by Nick Tabakoff. They put up the whole thundering denunciation. Morrow has got it wrong. Well, no, I didn't get it wrong. We knew what you were up to, and you keep getting it wrong, and we'd like an apology. Thank you.
Hey, Rita, I think James has just joined the club. The Outsiders Club, where the lefties attack you for being wrong, and a year later, you're proven to be right. Welcome aboard, James. Good man.
Hey.
Fantastic. Good stuff. But it is serious about the regional thing, and people in the regions are rightly extremely disheartened. ABC, I've always said the ABC should be dismantled by a Liberal government or whatever, but I think the ABC are busy dismantling themselves, so let them carry on doing it.
You're right. If they do actually have a subscription model, they could be the beneficiaries of $2 billion, $3 billion a year. If the demand is there, if the punters out there want it and they pay for it,
Exactly.
they
So we can have
could
our
grow to be even bigger.